Guys, say cheese.
Wait, take it again.
You want to be in it?
I'm not in it? Okay, that's it.
I don't think so. Is this fine there? Okay. Hi, everyone. Can I get everyone's attention, please? Hi. Thank you all for attending the second annual President and Vice President panel for student government. My name is Rhoda Wilson. I am your current SG Vice President, and I'm so glad to see so many amazing people here and also so many amazing candidates here. Thank you all for attending and for your interest in running for student government. So I'm going to start with the Vice President panel. Each candidate gets 2 minutes to answer their questions. The timer starts after I ask the question, and I'm also going to ask you guys to introduce yourselves to the audience. And let me just get my timer ready. Alrighty, so I'm gonna motion over to whoever's next online. And then when I point at you, you can walk over to the front and talk into the mic. Be great. All right, so can I get the first candidate up? Please introduce yourselves. Everyone give them a round of applause.
Hi, everybody. Oh, I don't think it's on.
Turn on. There.
Hi, everyone. My name's Katerina Bartholomew. I'm a junior in the Macaulay Honors College. I'm double majoring in psychology and economics with a minor in legal studies. I'm currently a senator in student government, also a part of Leadership Academy, and I'm a president of our Open Minds Exchange Club. So yeah, I love CSI, and I hope you all resonate with my answers today.
Awesome, thank you for your introduction. Can I have who's next introduce themselves, please?
Hello, everybody. My name is Jessica Montalvo. I am a junior in the Verrazano Honors Program. I am a business marketing major with a minor in Spanish. I'm currently the marketing director of Verrazano Honors. I'm currently the secretary of the management club, and I'm also part of the marketing team for management and marketing club. I'm definitely a new voice, and I hope to bring some new voices and ideas to student government. And thank you all for joining us here today.
Awesome, thank you for your introduction. Can I have next please come over to the mic and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Thomas. I'm a CSI readmit student. I'm currently on student government as the Student Services Commissioner, and I'm also part of the Psychology Club as the president. I'm majoring in psychology and economics. I'm minoring in math and biology. This is my third year on student leadership, second year in student government, and also been part of other extracurricular activities on CSI, such as the association, the college council, the auxiliary services, and more.
Awesome, thank you so much for the introduction. And last, please come over to the podium.
I'm Ethan Farrell. I'm a history education major here at CSI, running on a platform of bold ideas. I'm a newcomer to student government, trying to get involved with more and more things and getting more people involved. That seems like a common complaint across the campus. So getting more involved, getting more people involved.
Awesome, thank you so much. So I'm gonna start with the first question for Katerina. Please stand over here. And the first question is, why did you decide to run for this specific position on student government? Your timer starts now.
Okay. I decided to run for this specific position on student government because I had been a student government senator in the past. I also was the deputy commissioner of both the club commission and our fiscal and financial commission. So I had that extra kind of leadership aspect inside of student government on top of being in student government itself. I think it was just like the next step for me. I really enjoy being in student government. I'm very passionate. I come to as many events as I can. and try to encourage other people to come to the events and join student government also. So I think it was just, what was next for me. I love advocating for all of the students, and being in that position where I could actually have a genuine connection with administrators, where as vice president I could sit down with administrators. I think that was really important to me. I wanted to be in that position specifically, so that's why I decided to run for vice president.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, and then we have Jessica. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes.
All right, so the question was, why did you decide to run for this specific position on student government? Your timer starts now.
Yeah, of course. So I actually started off as an early child education major, so I have a background in that. And now I'm a business marketing major, and it's a whole different new environment. So I definitely would love to bring a new voice here on campus. And as a student, I have seen the lack of events here on campus, and I would truly love to be an advocate for that, bringing more student engagement here on campus as well. And the leadership roles that I have held here and within my parish, I was very active within my parish the first 2 years as an usher, a lector, catechist, and a youth leader. And through those leadership positions, I have truly seen the power these leadership positions hold, and I truly wish to become an advocate for not only the students here at CSI, but all the different majors as well. So.
Awesome, thank you so much. And then next we have Thomas. I'm just gonna ask, please hold the mic when you are ready to speak. You can just take it out. And then. Awesome. So would you like me to repeat the question again, or you're good?
I don't.
Okay, so your timer starts now.
Okay. Well, initially I joined student government because I was interested in dealing with some of the issues. Mainly speaking, it's with the commuting, because as a commuter, it's something I deal with. But shortly after I joined, the referendum, some of you may or may not know, just took away the bus. But I still remained on student government and decided to see maybe what other issues I can be a part of. So I decided to run for the vice president role because I feel like this is the next step for me to take. I serve on the alternate and then committees and then commission. So literally I felt like this is the year number 3 for me, and I'm ready to take the next step.
Awesome, thank you so much. And lastly, would you like me to repeat the question?
Why not?
All right, so the question again is, why did you decide to run for this specific position on student government?
Yeah, so
Your timer starts now, sorry.
I've been told about 10 times in 10 different conversations over the last few weeks, you go big or you go home. I don't know why everyone keeps using that phrase to me, but as a newcomer to student government, why not? VPs have a lot of power to do great things. I'm a history education major. I know the history of student governments rising to power after student protests in Italy, creating better funded places and being a voice for the students when our funding isn't great. There's holes in stairwells. There's a lack of events throughout the week. Our transportation situation, I think everyone up here will be talking about it today at some point. So go big or go home,
Awesome, thank you so much for your response. All right, so we're gonna continue to the next question. You can come up, please. Thank you. And the question is, what are some ways that you would go about fostering involvement and engagement at different student events on campus? Your timer starts now.
One of the most important ways to foster involvement and engagement on our campus is just to let people know what's happening. As I'm sure many of you know, we are a commuter school. A lot of students come to campus, go to class, and then leave. They don't really come to 1C to see the events. They don't look at the bulletin boards to see what's happening. So one of the best ways that we can do that is basically shove this information in their face. We have to put it on Brightspace. We have to put it on places where they're already checking. So I want to put the information on Brightspace in a centralized app where everybody can see it. And I want to encourage people, come to these events. I want to advertise the things that people want, the free food, how you get to choose whatever food is at the events. I want to advertise all of the things that we have that the students want. And I think just by doing that, putting it in a place where everybody can see it, that alone will get more engagement and more involvement on our campus.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your response. Can I just have the next guest come over? I just want to make sure. Hello? Okay. Awesome. Sorry, guys. Would you like me to repeat the question?
No, it's okay.
Alrighty. Your timer starts now.
CSI, there's always so much going on here at CSI, and sadly not a lot of students are notified, whether it's from different majors, huge events, panelists that we're having, networking events. Sadly, the communication isn't there. So what I truly want to bridge this gap between lack of communication and the student government is to definitely make a place in Brightspace. There we have all of the flyers from all different resources, from the resources that we offer to all the club events that are going on campus, to any networking opportunities. I want to put them on Brightspace. Also, I want there to be a separate Instagram page dedicated so all of the clubs are able to send their flyers, make their reels, and social media is such a large impact, especially now all students are on there. So that is truly one way I know students will be actively involved and have more student engagement here at CSI.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your response. Can I have next? Alrighty. Would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I don't think.
No? Okay, so I'm going to start your timer now.
So one way I would foster engagement is probably through collaboration with other clubs. I know in the past we've reached out to clubs like the League of Historian, Black Student Union, and others. We can use the group chats. It's pretty easy to find their elected members on the chat, so we just directly message them. We do collaborations via PowerPoint. We can also do in-person or online events. So it's mainly we like mixing the ideas of psychology along with other topics, because psychology is such a broad major that you can go along with history, literature, math, science, and just about a lot of different topics. So just, these events are obviously posted onto CSI Connect. We try to market them. I don't really have direct communication with, let's say, the media team, but we use whatever resources we have as a student. I think that's mainly how, in the past, my experience, how I would foster involvement with students.
Awesome. Thank you. And last, would you like me to repeat the question? What are some ways that you would go about fostering involvement and engagement at different student events on campus? I'm going to start your timer now.
I love the Brightspace idea. I think communication can get a little lot better across this campus, but also giving clubs more freedom to meet outside of club hours and do events outside of club hours. Right now, oftentimes I'll find myself on a Tuesday trying to decide which event I want to go to, and they overlap so much. It also, if you're not on campus in the hours before or after for a class, you're not going to show up just for a club meeting. So if it works better for certain majors to meet with their clubs, like say the marketing majors, if they find that those marketing align more with on a Wednesday or a Monday, they should be able to meet on a Monday or a Wednesday. I'm in a history major. A lot of our classes right now are towards the evenings, so having a meeting that it starts at 4:45 would serve a lot of history majors a lot more. Giving more freedom would help that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to switch around the order now. I would like for Thomas to come up to the stage, please. And I'm going to read you the question, and the question is, how would you define the CSI experience? What's missing from that experience, and what can be done to address those gaps? Your timer starts now.
My opinion, I think CSI is good at sort of communicating with the students via technology, specifically emails, and Brightspace, CSI Connect. You spend like a lot of time, so if you want to attend events, you rely on media to get your information. And I think what's missing could be like maybe more sort of in-person like accessibility, like stores, or sometimes if you need to like buy food or just something like that. It's really difficult to like step far away from campus. And I don't know, using the student activity, if we would bring like a whole entire store here, but I think we can like work with the menu, dining services menu, or the auxiliary services. That's like an idea that could potentially help with the CSI experience.
Awesome, thank you. And next, can I have Ethan come over to the front? It's okay, I don't mind. So how would you define the CSI experience and what is missing from that experience and what can be done to address those gaps? Your timer starts now.
Yeah, so I think the CSI, we do academics well. It's outside of academics that everyone feels they fall down on. Social life, not works. Like I said about escaping club hours, we got to put more funding into social spaces outside of club hours, meaning social lounges that are available to students all year round rather than just meeting for clubs. This could be like a conversion of a handful of classrooms that are underused or are quite not good. There's a few that are in the building, they're in the basements of the buildings that aren't that great for learning already. Converting them to social spaces would allow students to meet any time of day, not just during club hours on a Tuesday or Thursday.
Awesome, thank you for your response. And next, Jessica. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
All right. How would you define the CSI experience, what is missing from that experience, and what can be done to address those gaps? Your timer starts now.
So I would define the CSI as active student engagement and more community. I often see that clubs and if you're in a specific major, you usually tailor to a specific club. And I would love to see more collaboration within different clubs. Larger events like Culture Night, I think would be amazing. A welcome festival in the beginning of the semester, having students know everything CSI truly has to offer, from the resources to the networking, to the clubs, to the events, and we truly have so much to offer, and I feel like there's so much potential to be done here at CSI. And I really hope that I can contribute to that and be a different voice to that.
Awesome, thank you so much. And then finally, we have Katerina. Would you like a repeat? Alrighty, your timer starts now.
Okay. So, in my opinion, the CSI experience is the best thing that ever happened to me. But I'm very aware that that is not the case for a lot of people. For a lot of people I live on campus, so I know a lot of people don't live on campus. It's not the same thing. Having both sides of the coin and being aware of both experiences for everybody, the average CSI experience, I think I know the things that need to be changed. I know that we need to have better engagement on campus. I know that we need to have better communication to all of the students on campus. I know that we need to encourage a lot more students to be involved. And I know how to do it, having the experience from student government last year, or this year. And what was the last part of that question? I'm sorry.
The last part was what can be done to address the gaps?
Yeah, so we could communicate better with our students, let them know when the events are happening. We constantly have events. It's just a lack of getting the flyers out there and letting our students know. So yeah, I would say communication, just making sure all of our students know what's going on, and really advocating and accepting all of the different experiences of each individual CSI student, because every single student is going to have a different experience.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone, we're getting to the last question for all our candidates. Can I have Jessica to the front, please? And the question is, if you were a captain on a team, how would you go about handling a conflict between two players to maintain team positivity and success?
Yeah, of course. So if I was team captain, I feel like it's very important to see both sides. There's two sides to the stories, and it's very important to see both perspectives, but also it's very important to keep in mind that we are a team. We have one goal and we have one mission, so it's not each student against each other, it's the students against the issue, and we have to remind ourselves that we're a team and we're here on the same goal, the same mission, and honestly, having strong communication, having with my team members, and providing the necessary resources and the ability to communicate effectively, not only myself as a captain, but with every single individual on the team.
Awesome, thank you. And next, I would like to call Thomas up to the front. Would you like me to repeat the question? All right, so your timer starts now.
Yeah, I basically agree. I think I should just side with the person that I agree with. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's important to hear both sides because you want to hear what the conflict or issue may be, and so then from there, you can just let other members maybe gather, have their inputs as well. So this way, not just both sides, but everyone who's involved can have sort of an opinion and a perspective on whatever the conflict may be. And I think as a captain, would make a decision that's the best interest for the entire team, not just your interest or any individual. And I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. And can I have Ethan up to the front? Would you like a repeat?
Go for 4.
Okay, so the question is, if you were a captain on a team, how do you go about handling a conflict between two players to maintain team productivity and success? Your timer starts now.
Yeah, on every team, you're bound by common interests. Here on student government, we all want a better CSI. So we've got to find the merits of each argument and find a way to mediate between the two. Whether I want you to vote for these guys or not, everyone here wants to do good for CSI. And finding what issues people have and finding a solution that works with all those issues, that's, yeah.
Thank you. And last, all right, so the question is, if you were a captain on a team, how do you go about handling a conflict between two players to maintain team productivity and success? Your timer starts now.
I think every single conflict is different. I think I would handle every single conflict differently depending on what that conflict is. However, I would say the best way to handle a conflict, in my opinion, is to sit down with each person individually, hear both sides of the story, me, myself, find some common ground in both sides of the story, and then bring the two people together, talk about that conflict, emphasize on the common ground, and then come to a conclusion of a good conclusion where everybody can be in harmony in some way. I don't think that would ever affect the productivity or positivity of my team because it would always be worked out and there would never really be a conflict to the extent of, messing up our productivity. I would like to take the conflicts and kick them in the butt as soon as possible so that productivity isn't messed up because, we have 1 year to do the most that we possibly can. We don't have time to mess around and get into consistent conflicts with each other.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Can we have a big round of applause for everyone? Woo! All right, so we are going to have a short intermission until 3:30. Feel free to graze around, have some food in the back, some water, and revitalize for the second half of this panel where we interview the presidential candidates. And also to the vice president candidates, please stay behind. Nick Durst is conducting interviews with everyone, so he would love to interview you guys. Thank you all again. I want to watch them talk. Why is this like rap? Can it? Yeah. Keep it on the live stream. We'll just keep it on the, okay. All right, everyone, if I could have everyone have their seats, please. We're beginning. Thank you. All right, hi, everyone. My name is Ashley. I am the current student government president, and thank you so much for being here at our president and vice president panel. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I'm going to begin. I'm just going to allow them right now to introduce themselves. So please give us your name, your major, and maybe like a fun fact. We could start like that, okay? Great. Joelle and then Gabriella.
All right. It's on, right?
Should be.
Hello? Hello? No, it's not. Hello? Hello?
I think it is.
It is? It's very low. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Joel De La Rosa. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm honored to be in this space with everybody here. I see a lot of familiar faces and some new faces here. So I'm a junior here at CSI. I'm going for business management with a concentration in finance and 2 minors in accounting and Spanish. A fun fact about me, I wear it on my chest every day I come here. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. I come from very humble beginnings. And I'm not scared to show it. It brings me more connectivity with everybody here and create genuine connections with everybody. So that's that.
Thank you, Joelle. Gabriella?
Hi, everyone. My name is Gabriela Rosales. I'm a current sophomore in the Macaulay Honors Program. I'm studying business marketing with a minor in data analytics. I love everything creative, and some things I'm involved here in school are I'm president of the marketing club, I'm a current senator in student government, I'm on the Accessibility Commission, and a member of College Council. One fun fact about me is I love everything about music. I played the clarinet for 5 years and piano for 2 years.
Alrighty, thank you, Gabriella. Okay, so I'm going to start now with our questions. First question, I'm going to have Gabriella answer first. Timer of, since this is presidential, I'm going to do, still 2? Great. 2 minutes. Let me just pull up this timer. Alrighty. So the first question is, wait, where's, oh my God, I can't find my timer. There it is, okay. So why did you decide to run for this specific position on student government, and what are some of the goals that you hope to achieve through this position? Gabriella, 2 minutes, start now.
So when I started here at the College of Staten Island, as I'm sure many of you have experienced, when you make that transition from high school into college, it can feel a little lonely, right? You have that imposter syndrome, you're going into a new space, new environment. And that was me at the beginning, you know? I didn't know what I was doing, who to talk to. So Spirit Week came about, and, you know, there's a lot of outdoor events. It was a lot of fun, a lot of food going on, and I was like, wow, maybe I should go. I made a friend there who I'm still friends with to this day, and I was like, wow, CSI is a great space to make relationships. So I had that amazing experience, and I want everyone else to have that experience as well. So, you know, going into this campaign, I really do think that I'm passionate about building community, you know, cultivating this amazing CSI experience, right? Some of the things that we can do is, you know, food is a problem here on campus, right? There's the Chick-fil-A, the halal cart, and that's kind of it. So, you know, having a food truck event on campus where you can vote, taste test, you know, choose the next vendor on campus would be an awesome opportunity. We also have a problem with Wi-Fi, and having printers in every student lounge would make things accessible for students, especially when, you know, you have something due the next day, you forgot to print it at home, but the 1L library printer doesn't work, what then? You know, it's a big problem. So the next thing, you know, having updates on Brightspace would be awesome, very helpful. You know, people get announcements there every day. Not everyone has access to their emails. Not everyone checks Instagram. But on Brightspace, you have everything in one place. And I also think that bringing back the CSI bookstore would be awesome. It creates jobs on campus, and we need, you know, a space to display our amazing merch. We just had our T-shirt design contest, which student government helped chair, which is amazing. So I've been involved in a lot of things in student government government currently this year, and it's been incredible, and I'm really looking forward to continue expanding on this. But there's a lot of things that we can do, and as long as we talk to students, get more involved. And I was out there campaigning this morning. It was absolutely incredible to talk to people I haven't talked to before. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabriella. Joelle, would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay. Why did you decide to run for this specific position on student government, and what are some of the goals that you hope to achieve through this position? Your 2 minutes start now.
All right, guys. So when I first started college here, I was a full-time worker. So a lot of my classes were at night. Wasn't really involved that much on campus. And when I was given the opportunity to be full-time here on school and really be involved, I got introduced to a lot of clubs, one being Dolphin Capital, and also being introduced to the marketing club. And I really learned a lot about student life. The connections you make here is really important. And I got to learn about how these connections can take you outside of school. So what I really want to do here is bring more connection to one another. I feel like everybody lives a very special, different life, and getting to hear that from one another and using that as a way to keep building yourself and building your career and your trajectory will go a long way. So I really want to advocate for more clubs, push more student activities. I'm a student at large for student government, and one of the things I've been trying to implement already now is maybe having more swings. I've been talking with the gardening club. I want to bring more trees, plant more life, make the scenery more beautiful for everybody here. And I just want more connection to one another, and to bring that forward. What else? I also, a lot of people talked about the Wi-Fi. That's a really big issue. I also want to try to implement fixing the Wi-Fi and bringing more notice to campus activities as well. I feel like in emails, we kind of get so much emails that we kind of get lost in all the stuff that's really happening here. I want to probably try to implement an app or something we could all come together to know exactly what's going on every week. Maybe use faculty and staff to update students in each building of what's going on in the week so everybody knows what's going on and how to be involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Joelle. Thank you both. Alrighty. This next question, Joelle, I'll have you answer first.
Awesome, okay.
If a student were to come up to you about an idea or problem on campus, what would your next steps once given that information be? 2 minutes start now.
Ashley, thank you for asking me that question. Funny enough, this semester, when I started learning about student government and I wanted to get more involved because a lot of students that I've helped throughout my journey here advocated for me to take this try to go for this position, I met someone that had an idea of updating our gowns for graduation. They felt like it was very updated. The material was very, very flimsy, and they wanted to try to implement an idea that they had of potentially to use, right, to update our gowns. So the first thing I bumped into Rhoda, funny enough, in this very same room, and I learned that she's actually the VP of Student Government. So I brought up the idea to Rhoda. I asked her if it was okay for me to connect this individual, because I thought her idea was very beautiful, and to push it forward to her attention. I connected Rhoda with her, and then I actually met Ashley at Dolphin Capital shortly after, and I brought up that to you as well, and that's how I learned that Ashley was also president. And it gave me inspiration to see how she could help one student's dreams come true, an idea that they had, and make them feel valued. And it's given me the passion to want to do the same for other students here on campus. So yeah, that's how I would handle it.
Thank you, Joelle. Gabriella, would you like me to repeat the question?
Sure.
Okay, great. If a student were to come up to you about an idea or problem on campus, what would be your next steps once given that information? Your 2 minutes start now.
Similar to Joelle, I think you have to be on campus in order for you to hear these problems, right? You have to go put yourself out there and talk to people. It's what I was doing this morning earlier when I was campaigning. And I think that, the approach is to
hear what the person has to say. Like, I'm a lists person. I always carry notes. I always carry my lists with me. So I would write down their contact info, bring it to the Senate. First, also research what is currently being done. What is student government doing for this issue? What can we do to improve that? And what are the faculty that we need to bring this attention to? So, I'd copy them in an email because things kind of get lost. So, make sure to follow through because, once you make that initial connection with someone, that's great. But to build a relationship, you need to follow through, and that shows through an email or something tangible. So definitely sending up an email would be helpful. And after that, continue the conversation at a student government meeting or during our office hours at student government. We're always in student government lounge. There's always a senator to answer your questions. So, obviously bringing more attention to the availability of student government is really important. A couple of weeks ago, someone asked me about having more music-centered events on campus. So I looked into a band at Rutgers, local band, so we can possibly incorporate an outdoor concert next semester in the fall, which would be amazing. Getting to know students' concerns, students' needs, and being able to bring it to life is really what I'm passionate about. I love speaking to people, getting to know them, their interests, their hobbies, and when you work together with someone, it's really going to create something beautiful. And that's what's amazing about student government. So,
thank you, Gabriella. Alrighty, next question, Gabriella. Actually, I'll keep you up here. You're going to go first. Alrighty. Tell us about an initiative you could lead, implement in order to become more familiar with the concerns of the student body. 2 minutes start now.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before, I think Bright Space was definitely a main thing. But in addition to that, I think having that platform is great, but knowing how to use it is even better. As a marketing major, I understand our audience. Emails get lost, flooded. Not everyone has Instagram, and there's a lot of people around campus that aren't aware of these events. So being able to be there in person, speaking to them, and also, working more on this Bright Space initiative, but also to set up quarterly events with the president would be amazing. The president of the college. He's able to do a lot of things, and our faculty, they are so passionate about giving back to our students. I've spoken to a lot of them through my roles on College Council, and they're so happy to help these students, but they're not really sure how to navigate that. So if I could be the bridge to help, create those quarterly meetings with the president, it would be amazing, to see that grow and to see that relationship and that bridge be kept. So.
Great. Thank you, Gabby. All right, Joelle, would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, no problem. Tell us about an initiative you could lead, implement in order to become more familiar with the concerns of the student body. Your 2 minutes start now.
Okay, so one thing I really wanted to do was having a monthly meeting where I would meet with a lot of students on campus. I'd walk around and just hear what's the college experience like for everybody. What's one thing that they love and what's one thing that they don't love or one thing that they'd want to change. That way I hear more of the voice of everyone that's here, that's on campus all the time. And from there, I would go and meet with the Senate, student government, and try to come up with, talk with the team, see what's their inputs, what are their thoughts, and how we could possibly make some of these ideas and concerns, a possible reality for us to fix, right? Now, yeah, that's pretty much what I would like to do. I just want to be more, I'm a very sociable person, guys. I love talking with everybody. I don't think anybody is above another person. I'm very humble in that regard. And because of that, I hear a lot of concerns or issues that people go through, and it's a very safe space that I have when I talk with these people. And hearing from them about their issues will help me be able to properly escalate it and bring a resolution.
Great. Thank you so much, Joelle. Alrighty. Wow, this has been going really fast. We have one more question before I open it up to the floor. Alrighty. Who went first that time? Was that Joelle?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
No, Gabby went first.
All right, Joelle, this is for you first, okay?
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of when you delegated tasks to others and how you tracked or monitored their progress towards the completion of a goal? 2 minutes start now.
Ooh, okay. in Dolphin Capital, I'm a market sector head for financial services. I have a team that's under me, 3 to 4 members, and I meet with them weekly. And when I first interviewed them for this club, I wanted to know what was their specific goals that they would love to achieve being here a part of this club. Some of them was learning how to do financial statements, looking at the balance sheets. Some other students said that they wanted to just be in this club because it gives them opportunities to get internships, right? So I meet with them weekly. I tracked how they progress. We do stock pitches every usually 2 to 3 weeks. And the one thing that I love, and I've been with the part of this club for, I believe, almost a year now, is the amount of growth and progression everybody has taken in each person's career, and seeing all these students land these internships, land these full-time positions, has shown the amount of growth everybody has. And me being able to track, and what I've done by tracking everybody, I was able to help them basically get one step closer to those goals. And for me, helping a student get one step closer to their goals makes me feel like I'm doing God's work. And it honestly just doesn't feel like a work. It just feels like I'm doing something that I love. So yeah, that's that.
Thank you, Joel. All right, Gabriella, would you like me to repeat the question? Perfect. Okay. Can you give us an example of when you delegated tasks to others and how you tracked or monitored their progress towards the completion of a goal? 2 minutes, start now.
Yeah, so recently, actually, I spearheaded the CSI Business Gala that will be taking place tomorrow, actually. My reasoning behind going through with this was, clubs are cliquey on campus, and as we all heard from our candidates, people kind of keep to themselves. So my main goal with this event was to kind of encourage the intermingling between groups and hopefully expand that to a larger scale next year on student government. So I started with the business clubs, and, I've been having weekly meetings. I've been keeping up, with Google Docs. I have an agenda. Like I said before, I'm a list person. I always love my lists. So I've been using those to keep track of things. And it's really great to play to people's strengths as well. When you're in a leadership position, it's so important to empower and trust the students that you're working with as opposed to command or control them. As a leader, it's so important to help other people take initiative. So if I can do that, which I think it's been working pretty well, it makes me really happy to see other people take on leadership roles as well. And all of these things are student-led, and college is the time to take these opportunities to, create these student-led events. It feels so fulfilling afterwards when it comes out nice. Even though, the meetings can be long, it could be a long process to, talk to a bunch of different administration, but in between these goals, keeping track of things with lists, calendars, agendas. I always have to keep everything organized. That's the type of person that I am. And, it's been going pretty well, and I'm really excited to say that we've had a lot of signups for the event tomorrow, and I'm excited to continue bringing this next semester. We also have a new vice president coming in next semester. And I actually met with them yesterday, and there's a lot of potential to have great events with our new vice president. So I'm really looking forward to working with them to continue, empowering students to do things, because I always say that respect isn't respect is earned, it's not commanded. So, I think it's really great to be involved with people and trust them enough to take initiative on their own responsibilities and play to people's strengths.
Great. Thank you so much, Gabriella. All right, everyone, that is the questions that I have for our candidates. I just want to thank you both for your time and your energy. 2 spectacular candidates that we have here, Joelle and Gabriella. I'm going to open now the floor for any Q&A that you have for our candidates. Anything at all, we are open to questions. This is your time to ask your potential future president here about anything that you would like. Yes, please. Should I come up, or can I show you over here? You can do whatever you like. Would you like to come up to the mic?
Yeah, come up.
Thank you for our student government, President Ashley, for letting me speak on the mic. My name is Ulysses Fernandez. I am the president of the League of Historians, the history club here at the College of Staten Island, and I'm also, not to take away from everybody over here, also running for student government under the graduate ticket. But my question for our two potential candidates for presidents is, how exactly would you come and revitalize club life here on campus?
Great question. So since Joelle answered the first one, wait, was that, I get lost. Was that Gabby or Joelle first?
I went first, yeah.
So Gabriella, please answer first.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I actually have been starting doing that within the marketing club. So my very first semester of college, I joined the marketing club and I was like, hey, do you guys have any roles open? They had like the interim vice president. I was like, okay, great. The professor was running the club at the time, which is not how it should be. You know, after COVID, it was hard to kind of pick up the clubs. So I joined, and I noticed that it felt so much like a lecture. They would bring in speakers, right? People go in, sit down, and then they leave. But that's not the point of a club. Yeah, sure, that works in class, but, you know, clubs are supposed to be that space where you build community. You know, you meet people so you have a support system within your major or within your interests. So, you know, going into this semester, I started from scratch with business basics. So I turned, instead of having speaker lectures, it became how to network, how to work on your elevator pitch, how to work on your resume. And each meeting we started with networking, and I was like, okay guys, you got 5 minutes, go find people's LinkedIns. And it worked so well. We now have like 15 dedicated students that come back every time, and it makes me so happy because they're sharing internships with each other, they're sharing interests and passions with each other. And, you know, starting by, you know, creating a space where people feel comfortable speaking with each other and they're excited to interact with one another, then it makes people feel like they can come back. You know, it cultivates that sense of belonging. When you have friends at a space, you want to come back because you want to share experiences with them. So, you know, having more of that, like, maybe you might have to force people to talk a little bit, but it does better in the end because then you'll create friendships and lasting, you know, relationships, even beyond college, which I've seen through the Finance and Economics Club and now the Marketing Club. And I hope to continue doing that through other clubs and, you know, yeah.
Thank you, Gabriella. Joelle?
If I remember correctly, you said how to make clubs better, right? How to make clubs better, correct? Revitalize.
campus
Excuse me.
life.
Yes. Okay. So with revitalizing clubs, one thing that I've already started implementing is going to each and every club and finding out what makes them special, different, and unique. And I've learned that every club is different, and the way that they host their club, how they do their events, how they interact with the students that are part of the club is uniquely different. In Dolphin Capital, everyone has a goal to get an internship or a full-time position when they get out of college. In the CSI Business Management Club that Melanie has founded, we're more hands-on, where we give back to students, right? Where we do resume workshop building, get them more prepared for when those networking events happen, they're ready to take advantage of it, right? I've met with the Spanish Club, right? Met with the Filipino Club. The way that they do clubs is completely different from all the clubs that I'm a part of now. They had a karaoke night. They're more in tune with meeting creating memories with students. We had karaoke. I was singing Don Omar, Danza Kururu, I believe it was, and I was making a fool of myself, right? But that's the point. We're in college. We only have 4 years on this campus. You want to make memories with people here. You want to live it up, and you never and just have fun. And that's honestly what I want to bring back to everybody here, right? Being a part of clubs, even if you're not a part of clubs, having fun activities here and making you guys proud to be CSI, proud to be a Dolphin, right? Because we're the biggest campus here. There's no other campus that has 100-something acres like we do. We have deer. How much?
204.
204. I go to Baruch College and they act like they're the best college, but I don't see it. I see the growth in everybody here. I hear everybody's stories. I see how you guys are all pushing. Everybody's working and still coming to school. And you guys are still here, making the best out of it. I want to push that forward, right? That's my goal.
Thank you, Joelle. Alrighty, any other question? Oh, we got Ralph, we got Kelly, and we got Kelly A. Kelly Z, Kelly. Okay, Ralph, would you like the mic? Perfect.
Hey everyone, my name is Ralph Wyman, and I'm also currently running for a NIPIC division, and I'm also graduating next semester. My question is, what is it like to control yourselves from getting distracted by so many activities around CSI campus where you're not missing out for you to stay humbleizing yourself just to be in the club side phase?
Okay, because we have a couple questions, and I'm also going to open the floor for VP Q&A. We're going to keep the answers to 1 minute, okay? I'm just going to summarize what Ralph said. Ralph, you can have a seat. Thank you so much. The question was, how do you organize yourself to not get lost, to not have events get lost in the sauce, basically, is what Ralph said. Okay, thank you, Ralph, for your question. Gabriella went first. So Joelle, you're gonna go first, and your 1 minute starts now.
So how do I not get lost in all the clubs and all the events that go on? Honestly, the best way that I handle everything, I plan out, I write down, I do my calendars, and sometimes it's gonna happen where you have responsibilities where you can't go to a club, or these other clubs that overlap. I'm part of 3 clubs now. I'm also part of a non-for-profit that I do outside of school. So I have a lot of stuff that goes on, and a lot of times I feel like the world's crashing down on me. And I feel like Atlas, if you guys have heard of Atlas from Greek or Roman mythology, where he's holding the world. It feels like a lot of weight, a lot of pressure. The best way I handle it is to just know that for each and every single one of us, you're being the best version of yourself, just coming to school, going to at least one club, or even just going to class and being present. That's time? Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay.
Just the last sentence.
But yeah, that's how I handle it. I don't feel like anybody could be perfect. Just be your best, and it'll shine, and that's how you could go far.
Thank you, Joelle. Gabriella, I'm just going to repeat that question, because I also forgot a little. Okay, so basically, how do you organize yourself to not lose sight of the events and activities that are going around on campus? That was a lot better. Yeah. All right, your 1 minute starts now.
Yeah, so like Joelle said, some events may overlap, but you know what? It's kind of like suffering from success, right? That's awesome, because a few years ago, CSI did not look like this, right? There's events going on constantly, and the fact that we have to catch up is awesome. So yeah, I mean, I keep things together in my agenda, and I try to visit as many as I can, but even if I can't, there's other senators that can, and then, we can all talk about it together and be like, hey, this club kind of needs these resources. Maybe we can talk about this. But making sure to, again, maintain those relationships with other people that are involved in other interests, other hobbies. When they go visit other clubs, you can hear about them, and you can go yourself. And like Joelle said, we're all busy, things happen, but again, suffering from success. CSI has been growing and will continue to grow in all of these amazing student events. And it's great to see so many people involved on campus, energized and ready to take initiative. Like, that's awesome. College is the place for you to do that, for you to explore and, go to Spanish club. All right.
Sorry. Just wrap up your last sentence, please. Wrap up your last sentence.
So yeah, I mean, visiting as many as I can and, being able to talk about it and, showcase that on social media. That's my job as a marketing major. So I'm more than happy to be wherever I can, whenever I can be.
Thank you, Gabriella. I'm just trying to keep it fair. So when I say time, just wrap up your last sentence and let's keep it pushing. Thank you so much, both of you. All right, Kelly Z, you would like the mic? Okay.
How do you bridge the gap between faculty and students? I mean, what is your goal to tackle some of the major problems here on the college?
Ooh, that's a two-parter. Can you guys handle that in 1 minute?
We could try.
Okay. Can you repeat that one more time for us, please?
Possibly. How do you bridge the gap between faculty and staff to bring them closer together? And how do you what's your goal to tackle some of the major problems here on campus?
Okay, so Gabriella, that's you first. Wait, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, perfect. All right, 1 minute starts now.
Perfect. Kelly, I was with you yesterday when we met with our potential candidate for the Vice President of Student Affairs. We interviewed someone who could potentially be the next Vice President on campus. And, you know, he was saying a lot of great things about having like a dean's desk where he sends out emails about, you know, updates on campus. Being able to go around and have lunch outside with students. Having that face-to-face interaction, in-person interaction is so important, and that's the way you build and cultivate long-lasting relationships. So I think that is one thing that we can do, and you know that'll definitely have administration be at the hands of students, right? They're not just sitting behind a desk. We want them in front of you guys and, you know, accessible to you, because it can be intimidating when there's a million buildings here. Like, where am I supposed to go? So that would be very helpful. And I think another problem is, you know, CSI Connect is very hard to use. So we're currently working on student government to implement an app next semester. So hopefully that'll be implemented if elected. But so, you know. Yes, exactly. So, you know, we're working really hard to try to make things more accessible for students. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Joel, do you remember the question?
I do.
Okay, perfect. All right, your 1 minute starts now.
Kelly's your name, right? Yeah. So Kelly, the way I'd want to implement to bridge the gap, I'm an ambassador for CIE, the CUNY Inclusive Economy, where their goal is to help bring internships and more job opportunities for students. I fell in love with the staff. Shout out to Nancy and Jen. And we hosted an event recently where we did a women in business panel where we tackled a potential issue where women are not being less misrepresented or not represented enough, right? And also shout out to Gab, because we also got you to also be our moderator for it. But my goal, if elected as president, is to meet with more faculty that have the same drive and passion as Nancy and Jen, and amplify the reach to more students for other divisions, whether it's for nursing, for our bioengineers, for our computer science programmers. You know, I don't want it just only to be where it's finance or economics. I want it to be for the whole school. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. All right, Kelly, you had a question? Kelly A.
So if students strongly disagree with the decision the Senate has made, how would you respond without losing trust?
Ooh, that's a great question. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. So how would you go about a student disagreeing with a decision that the Senate made without losing trust? A very important and crucial question. Alrighty, Joel, 1 minute starts now.
Kelly, great question. Thank you. And it's an issue that sometimes I feel like is an issue with student government. Sometimes there might be a little disconnect where students don't agree with what student government is doing, or feel like maybe they're not pushing in the right direction for the whole student body as a whole. The way I'd be able to bridge and you know tackle that issue is with the idea that I have where I'm meeting with students monthly. I would update students. I'm like, listen, this is what we're working on. This is some of the potential implementations we're thinking of doing. And I just want to hear what they have to say. And if they don't agree with it or think we're going in the wrong direction, I would take it in, make them feel like they're being heard, and just be as transparent and present in the moment with them where they feel like they're still being heard. And, you know, it's all about perspectives. I feel like I'd want to hear where they're coming from, what's the reason behind it, and try to find that middle ground and see, okay, well, if you don't like this idea that we're having now, maybe we could come up with an alternative to, you know, still meet your goal as well, where you're not feeling like you're just left behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. Gabriella, would you like me to repeat that? Yes. Okay. So how would you go about if a student disagrees with a decision the Senate has come to without losing trust? Your 1 minute starts now.
Yeah, so I think that with the Senate, you know, sometimes the answer is no, you know, and there's nothing that we can do about it. And sometimes we might have to, you know, confront students with that harsh reality. Like, it's okay to say no, but we also want to make it known that these conversations are not completely closed, right? Like, if there's something that you're super passionate about, we can probably make it happen. You know, it's all about working together as a collective, you know, bringing your idea to us, and we can definitely reopen the conversation with the faculty, bring it to CUNY Central, whatever it may be. The CUNY system's a little difficult right now, so we also want to work on breaking down that barrier. But yeah, no, it's so important to help students understand that, you know, we're here for these open discussions. It's never just a no and that's final. You know, we're always here to explain to you, even if the answer is no, you know, there's always an explanation for that. So we're not gonna, you know, sugarcoat anything and not block anything from you, but that's the whole point of making things accessible to you so you know what's going on and you can have your voice heard as well.
Thank you so much, Gabriella. Okay, I'm going to open the floor to questions for our VP as well. I do not want to have them feel like left out. So any questions for our potential future VPs over here? Yes, please. Say your name and take the mic.
Thank you. So my name is Fumi. I'm a freshman here at CSI, a CS major, and an official in the computer science club. I wanted to ask this to the presidents, but like I'll just put it to the vice presidents as well. So, I see these events like eating management and stuff like that, and like stress management and stuff like that. And sometimes I go for them, but like not every, like there are hardly people there. Like, how do you get more students in those kinds of things because they're helpful? Like those eating management, stress management, nutrition, health, all of that, all those other things that are not clubs.
Oh, resources you're talking about.
Stuff like that. Stuff like that.
Okay. Great. So, you want to start? I'm going to do the timer. Did you guys understand the question? Do you want me to like summarize that? Okay, let me do a little summarization. So basically, outside of club events such as the health wellness event host events all the time, so many different organizations such as Student Life or even the VP's Office of Student Affairs, they hold events outside of club life. How would you encourage students to attend those types of events on campus? Is that good? Okay. All right, Kat, we could start with you. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Okay. So a lot of students don't know about the resources that we have. As the deputy club commissioner, we had a lot of club fairs where we invited, or just resource fairs in general, where we invited the resources on campus. There's like the health center in 1C. We have the tutoring center in 1L. We've, as student government, this year and in past years, I'm sure, we have events where we just display the kind of resources that we have on campus. And we encourage students to use those resources. We encourage them to go talk to the tables, figure out when they're holding events, when there are similar resources being held. So I think the best way to do that is to have a resource or like a resource office on campus collaborate with a common club that students know about, because it just gets it out to more students, then more students know about the resource. So I think that's one really good way that it could be done, but yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay. Do you want me to repeat that or you got it?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll repeat that one more time. Okay, let me think of it. Okay, so outside of clubs having their own events, organizations such as Health Wellness, Student Life, VP of Student Affairs, et cetera, LGBTQ+, those types of offices, how would you encourage students to attend those types of events as they are also happening on our campus? Your 1 minute starts now.
Yeah, I'll definitely, does this still work like this?
We'll start over. We'll start your time. It's okay. It's like a... Ted? Yeah. Wait, there's a little thing here. I'm also... Got it. All right. 1 minute starts now.
Yeah, of course. In the beginning of the semester, I know we have large campus events where all the clubs are out there in the campus advocating for what they do and their mission. And I feel like definitely incorporating those resources. We have so much to offer here at CSI. So letting them be involved in those large events as well. And like I said, as a marketing student, I would love to use social media to our advantage. The Bright Space, having that I feel like is an amazing initiative. You guys check it with. And then social media is growing. We have such a large following, so definitely using that as well to our advantage. And word of mouth as well, to all majors, having professors on it, emailing students, and yeah.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Alrighty. Next, Thomas. All right, would you like me to repeat the question? Alrighty, your 1 minute starts now.
So initially, I would just help promote services, maybe through flyers or word of mouth, any way I can, and also like to just recommend the various services to students who need those services. It could be, if you need tutoring on a specific subject, then it would recommend the student to a particular service that is that will solve their problems. Basically, it just depends on students' concerns and who requests, what kind of needs they have, depending on the semester. It could be like mental health or nutrition, wellness center. I think it's also it comes down to individual. I think posting flyers is only so effective. It's going to come down to talking one-on-one to people constantly throughout the semester.
Thank you. Alrighty, and your 1 minute starts now.
Seems like communication is the common denominator up here today. But it's also about being intelligent with communication. Like we take for example, the stress management. We can go to professors who know they have large projects upcoming and say, hey, your students are going to be stressed. We have an event coming up next week. Go to them. It's about targeting people who would use it the most, and the best way to do that is through the professors who know what students are going through.
Thank you so much. All right, any other questions for our, amazing, okay. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. Come on up. Or do you wanna? Yes, of course.
Can I ask you the president still?
Yeah.
Okay, so coming from a club leader, I know we talked about events for students, but I want to talk about the perspective of the club leader. I want to know what's your plan for supporting club leaders when it comes to making these plans, because I know there's a bridge between the communication between some folks.
Very true.
You want to
go first?
Alrighty. All right, Joelle, your 1 minute starts now.
So, listen, you and I were both club leaders. We're trying to give back to students. And a lot of times we go through a lot of issues where we struggle to get approved for our budgeting, right? To get food, drinks, which is what brings in more students' activities. The way I feel like I could make a big impact if I'm president is maybe sitting with Debbie, who's the one that advocates and helps us make sure these events, make sure our events that we have coming up goes on CSI Connect, where I meet with her and meet with every club, maybe before we start the semester, right? And we talk about, hey, this is what we're planning on doing. We're planning on doing 4 or 5 events throughout the semester. So I'm gonna have an idea of how much you probably need for the budget. When and then you guys could talk to me. We'll communicate of when you're planning on doing it. So I could raise the alarm and bring the concern up to Debbie, or maybe find a way to have someone to assist Debbie to be more on top of being connected with the clubs to help you guys.
Thank you, Joelle. Gabriella, do you need the question repeated or you're good? Alrighty, your 1 minute starts now.
Yeah, so I know at the beginning of every year, Debbie always has her student leader orientation, and she goes through the handbook on how to talk to her about budgets, things like that. But even if you miss that, it can make the year very difficult. I know because I've missed the first one, and it was very hard to catch up after that. But, having monthly check-ins with Debbie and fellow club leaders, having a group chat together would also be super helpful. It keeps everyone aligned because I know a couple times, like Melanie has wanted to have a resume workshop, and I was like, oh, wait, I thought I was planning that next week. It's hard to keep track of these things when you don't meet with the leaders, right? And like we were talking about before, having that in-person communication is so important. So whether it's like a Zoom meeting once a month, but hey guys, let's go through all of the different events we want to have and just kind of set up a calendar together. And then we can pass along that information to Debbie because she knows a lot of these things, and there's a lot of strict rules that you kind of have to follow, and if you're not in the loop, you kind of don't know. So having Debbie on these meetings would be awesome as well. So it would be a great idea to kind of just bring people together and make sure we're all on the same page.
Thank you, Gabriella. Alrighty. Right here, your question directed to what group?
Never wants to answer if there's no particular preference, but I had
Okay.
So about like student engagement, you guys all talked about like student engagement, student clubs, and like getting people to come to events. But I feel like as somebody who goes to certain events, you always see the same kind of people there. But I don't see like my classmates going to those events. I don't see people that aren't a part of that major or aren't in like that clique of a club, I guess you could say. How would you approach those students, or how would you try to interact and get those like common students who are just commuters or are even like parents? Because there's a lot of parents here and they can't go to those things because they have like kids or stuff like that. So how would you like address the common students?
Great. So I'm going to give that question to the VPs since we've only given you guys one question. Sorry, guys. VPs, I'm going to start from that end to this. Is that okay? Alrighty. Alrighty. Sorry, guys. Okay. Ready?
What was that? Summary. Just engaging parents and stuff?
Okay, I'm just going to give a quick summary for those. Thank you for your question. Appreciate it. Basically, the question was, how would you engage students who don't commonly attend events, don't commonly attend activities or initiatives that we have here on campus?
So like I said, escaping club hours, obviously, but also being accommodating to them. If you're a parent, you should be welcome to bring your kids sometimes. And creating accommodations that help out. Escaping club hours is the biggest one. It's the middle of the day, Tuesday and Thursday, 2 hours. Not everyone can make it, especially people who work and maybe take night classes. So, yeah, accommodations.
Thank you so much. Thomas, would you like me to repeat the question? Yes? Okay. How would you engage students who don't normally attend events, initiatives, or activities that we have here on campus? And your 1 minute starts now.
Well, like, can't really make anyone attend, or do extracurricular activities, but I would start with myself. I would probably attend or engage with other clubs, and I can talk about it. I've had experience to share about it, but also, like, you can also just, you can share with your own, groups, like, among student government or among your own clubs. You don't really, I don't believe you don't have to be like a specific major to be in a specific type of club. So like, for example, the psychology club is open to all majors. I see that among other clubs as well. But I think, so just, if the question arises, like someone looking for something to do, I would probably, recommend a different club that's more relevant.
Thank you so much. Jessica, would you like me to repeat that, or? Beautiful. 1 minute starts now.
Honestly, I would go straight to the professors, especially in the beginning of the semester. Probably hand out QR codes and give them to professors open to all different types of majors, not just one specific, like let's say business schools, but like to the nursing department, to the education department, or even possibly try to add it onto the syllabus, like the link to CSI Connect, so you have that access to every single individual and the students, and I feel like that would be an incredible way to really get students involved and, like you guys said, get more different students from different majors, because all of these clubs and resources are open to everybody. And yeah.
Thank you so much. Kat, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, perfect. Your 1 minute starts now.
I do have.
You want to start? Do you want to start? Oh, okay. It starts now.
I have the curse of going last, so I just want to make a medley of what everybody said. I think all of those answers were wonderful. We need to accommodate the students that aren't able to make the typical club hour times or typical, like, our non-traditional students. We have a whole commission to deal with non-traditional students, our parents, our, people that are veterans, and also, being the example. I want to go to all of these events and I want to tell people, not only the people that are at the events, but I want to just walk through 1P and stop at the people that are sitting at the tables, or walk through 1C. I do it often and I say, hey, by the way, we're having an event next week. Hey, by the way, do you know what student government is? Hey, by the way, do you have any questions that you would like to ask? Any suggestions that you have for student government? And I think really just being the example and getting yourself out there is really important. But again, also like Jessica said, the professors have so much to do with it. The students that don't come to engage in clubs or student life in general, they always go to class. So the professors can tell them, hey, by the way, we have the CSI Connect, go check out the events. And I think it was a wonderful, and I think all of our answers were wonderful. I think there's many, many ways to do this.
Thank you so much. Okay, I had someone over here had a question. Yes, would you like to come on up? Yeah. So please choose who we're directing the question to, president or vice president?
Vice president.
Perfect, vice president.
Too much time to the president. Hello, everyone. Well, we also, care about the little people over here, the little guys.
They're not little.
So my question for the vice president would be, a lot of students come here to campus by other means other than cars, mostly the buses. And the shuttle bus was also shut down a few years ago. So what would your directive be to increasing transportation to the school other than cars? Thank you.
That is a great question. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to start now this way. All right, hold on. Let me pull up this timer. All right, so Kat, you don't need me to repeat that, right? You're good? No, we're good. Okay, perfect. All right, your 1 minute starts now.
We are currently working with the MTA to try to get the S93 specifically bus to come later in the day and on weekends. So we're already in contact with the MTA. They already know that we're interested in this kind of stuff, and we want transportation to be increased. I know that the shuttle bus was many people relied on it, and getting rid of it was kind of bummy for a lot of people. But we are also looking into that. There's always constraints and there's always budgets that we have to follow, and there's always higher ups at CUNY that we have to follow, but there's also always a way around. And so as long as everybody has the common goal of looking for the stuff and getting the resources back and hearing what the students need and looking into those resources in the most efficient way that we possibly could get them, that's always, the first step. So
thank you so much, Jessica. So sorry. Okay. Do you need me to repeat that? Perfect. 1 minute starts now.
I actually used to take the shuttle bus here when I did not have a car, so I know the struggle. But like they said before, continue working with the MTA and seeing if it aligns with our budget. I don't know about you guys, I kind of miss the loop bus as well. This campus is large and it's huge. So continuing to work with the MTA, with our partners, getting informed, it's something definitely I would love to continue advocating for, and especially that 93. So many of my friends, they live in Brooklyn, and getting that done helps so many students here on campus.
Thank you so much. Next. Thomas, would you like me to repeat the question, or you're good? Perfect. Your 1 minute starts now.
Yeah, I think from what I heard, there's a lot of discussions with the MTA. So they're maybe adjusting the lines to cater towards students who have a long commute to get here. Even those students who live on campus, live on Staten Island, as well as, missing the shuttle or the loop buses is detrimental. I think another idea would be to have a stop in front of Building 2A, so that students who get off out of the S buildings don't have to run across if the bus takes off. But from what we can do with the student activity, it's just keeping the discussion going for now, and I think just some ideas. I think the new VP comes from Wagner College. I remember seeing the Wagner have the mini buses at the ferry. So that's interesting.
Thank you. And last one. Would you like me to repeat that, or you're good? Repeat? Okay.
I'm sorry, I won't.
No, please don't do that to me. Okay. 1 minute starts now.
Well, we have Nightberg in the house. They've been fighting the good fight on transportation for a while now. Yeah, give them a clap. I think that we got to be creative about transportation. I know when we did have the shuttle, I believe it cost about $40 out of the student activity fee. I want to explore using the student activity fee to work with them to possibly get student Metro cards. I did some napkin math this morning. The DOE currently uses, currently pays about $128 per student MetroCard every year. If we subsidize that we might have some more success in that fight, because that's been going on about a decade, if I'm right. And the second thing is, instead of a shuttle to the ferry, why don't we explore a smaller shuttle that goes from the front gate 62 to the back gate 61 and connects to 93, so students aren't asked to walk 15 or 20 minutes in the cold in the winter to get to the bus they need.
Thank you so much. And I actually do want to comment on the transportation. I don't want any miscommunication about the lack of effort that we are doing. Student government alongside NIPERG have a committee where we are actively lobbying. We just now recently wrote out a letter that we are sending over to our local politicians. We are going to start lobbying extremely soon, trying to get in either a new line, have the 62 come in, or yes. So basically, we are doing everything in our power as students to bring student voices to our local politicians to try to persuade the MTA into looking into this issue and realizing that CSI is not just a college, it is one of the hearts of Staten Island. And thank you to NIPERG, thank you to Rhoda, to myself, Rhoda, NIPERG, Jack, a student at large, Batia, have been working diligently on doing this. And so it is not being not addressed. We are actively working on this, and I just want to thank everyone in that committee and NIPERG for doing an exceptional job on that. So yes, we are actively working on the transportation issue. Hopefully next year's student government will continue our lobbying efforts, but that has been implemented starting this student government. Alrighty, a question.
I just wanted to add.
Yes, please.
I'll use this one.
Okay, that one's like a little low.
Yeah, and also on the subject of student Metro cards, myself, along with the University Student Senate, we actively got our bill a sponsor to provide free Metro cards for all CUNY students. So we are doing the work. It just takes a long time.
Unfortunately.
It takes a long time for a lot of things to get passed, and hopefully the coming Senate is able to continue that work, and I wish you all good luck as well.
Okay, I'm gonna take one more question because we are at 4:22. Kelly, you wanna be the last one? Alrighty.
The College of Staten Island, it's for either group.
Okay, we have time.
The College of Staten Island has an observatory here on campus that is not utilized by our students. It's open sometimes on Thursdays for viewings, and it's open to the public, but there's not any use here for student learning purpose. If you guys are elected, what is your goal to have that as a part of CSI?
Okay, so we'll start straight.
Okay.
So we'll end, actually?
How do you want to do it?
Yeah.
It's your call.
Who did we start first over here? We started you first. Okay, so we'll do Gabby, Joelle, and then we'll start from that end. Kat, you'll be last. Is that okay? Sure. Okay. All right. Gabriella, your timer starts now.
All right, I know, Kelly, you're a huge advocate for this. I know you're very passionate about this, and I really love that, and I respect that. And I think that definitely partnering with the STEM clubs on campus, maybe have a whole event there to, I guess, commemorate the fact that we have an observatory. That's pretty cool. I don't know about you, but I don't know any other observatory on Staten Island, but there isn't. Exactly. It's almost like the WSIA. It's our only radio station, but a lot of people don't recognize that. And I know this is very passionate. You're very passionate about this. This means a lot to you. So if there's something that we can do where, we create a whole event to highlight the fact that we have this on campus, and even demonstrate the different things that it can do. And I think that having students like you present that to other students, maybe incentivize students to go, give them clue credits, like we were talking about earlier, talking to professors is so important. And if we can spread the word amongst all professors across all different departments, this is something that CSI has. It's not just, one major, but yeah, I think that would be great.
Thank you. Joelle, your timer starts now.
Kelly, I think it's beautiful. I've never even knew that we had an observatory here. Now, if you don't mind me asking, observatory, as in like you could see the stars and planets, correct? Okay. I think that's beautiful. I go up to my campsite, which is like 4 hours away, and I love going up there because the lights are dimmer. It's my escape, and I get to see like the Little Dipper, the Big Dipper, and stuff like that. So the way I would love to help you on this initiative is maybe having a late night session where we have, let's get together, have some drinks, have some food, and just stargaze together, right? Talk about our dreams. What are we thinking about doing in the future while we enjoy the night sky? I would love to do that, and I think that's also something we could possibly do maybe multiple times throughout each semester, and try to just voice it out to more students that are interested in that. So yeah, it starts with communicating it. Regardless if I'm president or not, I'm going to talk about it to see how I could possibly help you with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. All right, we're going to start from this end.
There's a schedule. There are weekly events, and there are actually many coming up because it's the end of the semester. So astronomy class labs are usually required to observe 1 or 2 bodies a semester and sketch out to complete lab work. So around, there's a couple in this building, but around 4N, there's actually a schedule of all the times that it's open.
And it's
going to be, it's going to be 3 times next week. There's another one tomorrow. They are not there's no refreshments essentially. But if that's something you guys wanted to work on, where there was something there, like drinks or snacks there, that would be very nice as well. But it is open routinely, and there's a schedule around campus that we.
Great. Thank you so much for that information, guys. All right, we're going to continue over here. Your 1 minute starts now.
Seems like communication's an issue again. Making a resource board that has stuff like the observatory is available as well as events on the Brightspace sounds like a solution that everyone seems to support up here. We also, you touched on it, Gabby, we got to appreciate the awesome. We're the Staten Island's only public college. We have an observatory. We have our own radio station. We don't do enough to appreciate that stuff and do awesome things with them. So things like the observatory, we got to push students and tell them that we have awesome things on campus. Go appreciate them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, Thomas. Your 1 minute starts now.
Well, first, I think physics is a very challenging subject. I would probably do a little bit of research about the solar system. And I know recently they orbit around the moon, and they just came back to drop into the California River. So I would definitely look into maybe videos or news articles about astronomy, and that can get students to hopefully draw more interest in physics, and this will hopefully lead more students trickling down to the laboratory.
Thank you so much. Jessica, your timer starts now.
Yeah, I think I heard about it like my freshman year, and it's so sad because this seems honestly amazing. So honestly, I would definitely go to more students that have as so much passion as you do and really have that one-on-one connection. Like, how do you guys want to advocate for it? What do you guys want from this more? And going back to my communicating with professors, like how do we open this up to different majors and not just only for labs, but for different majors, for different events, and how do we implement these new ideas and get more communication for bridging the gap between the lack of communication and all of these incredible events and resources that we have here at CSI.
Thank you so much. And Kat? Alrighty, your timer starts now.
Because everybody already did, I don't want to talk specifically about the observatory. I think we have plenty of spots on campus that a lot of students don't know about that are great resources. For example, we have a gym in 1R. It's a free gym for anybody. A lot of people don't know that they could go work out for free any day of the week. So I think any of these kind of resources that are on campus that a lot of students don't know about, the best way to get them to be used more is to talk about them, to advertise them, to show that they are there and that they're usable and that it's a welcoming environment for new people to go. So definitely just communicate better, put the things out there. And also just, to me, I would love to, hearing everything from all of these questions, I would love to walk around campus and just talk to as many people as I possibly can and hear what are their biggest concerns and biggest lacks of being at CSI, because clearly there's a lot that we need to work on, and there's a lot that you guys think that we need to work on, and that we haven't really heard a lot of these concerns before. So I think it's really important to hear it, to communicate, and to understand and do better.
Great, thank you. That is the time that we have for today. It is 4:30. I want to thank you all for being here and being such an amazing audience, and just so captivated and so engaged. It is truly, truly the highlight of all of our days, just having you students be here and actually want to be here. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. And I want to thank our presidential candidates and our VP candidates. They did phenomenal. Give them a round, guys. I just want to say I wish you all the best of luck. You guys are all exceptional people, and you guys are all student leaders in my eyes. So good luck and get out there. Please vote, everyone. Thank you.